A prevailing narrative across the corporate world asserts that generative AI is a universal productivity booster. The assumption is that giving employees access to large language models will lift everyone's output, regardless of their starting skill level. Industry leaders specifically describe this as a democratizing effect. In this view, artificial intelligence raises the baseline of quality for everyone, but provides the greatest advantage to novices, allowing lower-performing individuals to rapidly catch up to experts. This consensus stems from studies of well-defined tasks, like straightforward coding exercises or basic writing prompts. The data reliably shows a democratization effect. Top performers get a minor boost, and the bottom tier accelerates to narrow the gap. However, high-stakes management decisions and advanced educational assessments rarely resemble simple, structured prompts. They are ambiguous, time-pressured, and require the user to frame the problem from scratch. When the testing environment shifts to these more complex, ill-defined scenarios, the data reveals a striking different outcome for the most capable users in the room. In a 2026 study out of Aarhus University, researchers designed a randomized controlled trial to test this boundary, tasking students with a complex case analysis. The bottom moved up, and the top was dragged down, until both groups clustered in the middle with a similar average score. This decline in expert performance was not caused by technical failure or a lack of student effort. It happened because the complexity of the task clashed with how the human brain processes information under pressure. For experts, integrating AI assistance into an ill-defined workflow creates a cognitive load inversion. To see why experts fail where novices succeed, we have to look at the mechanics of human attention. Tasks exist on a spectrum. On one end are well-defined tasks. These have clear initial conditions, known procedures, and obvious goals. If you ask an AI to write a script to sort a list, it functions as a straightforward booster because the path to success is linear. Ill-defined tasks, such as business strategy, are different. They require the user to independently frame the problem, select an analytical approach, and constantly evaluate outcomes against a vague end goal. To navigate that fog, the brain relies on metacognitive regulation. Metacognition is the psychological ability to plan, monitor, and control your own thoughts. It is the mental overhead of directing your own work. Introducing generative AI shifts the user's mental effort. It reduces the effort spent on the physical act of generation, but it increases the effort required to monitor and evaluate the massive amount of content the AI produces. This shift in effort creates a gift for a novice, but it becomes a heavy burden for an expert who already knows how to perform the work. Consider the baseline state of a low performer. Without AI, they face high intrinsic load. Intrinsic load is the mental effort caused by the inherent difficulty of the task. Novices struggle because they lack the domain-specific knowledge required to structure their thoughts. Gen AI provides immediate relief by offloading that structure. It provides professional domain vocabulary and a coherent framing for the case, acting as a cognitive scaffold. Because they lack the knowledge to critique the AI's logic, these users adopt a duplication strategy. They take a metacognitive shortcut, copying the AI's output with minimal revision rather than engaging in demanding evaluation processes. The behavioral data from the study proves that most users engaged with the tool superficially. This histogram shows the frequency of prompts per user. The extreme left skew reveals that the majority of students use the chatbot for everything while only submitting 1 or 2 prompts. The brevity of these interactions is equally telling. The data shows that the median prompt was only 15 words long. These short queries prevented the students from guiding the AI through complex iterations. For novices, the AI allows them to bypass the hard work of thinking to achieve a good enough result. High performers arrive at the task with existing mental schemas. Because they already have the domain knowledge needed to solve the case, they do not need the AI to provide basic structure or vocabulary. The typical expert workflow is a slow, iterative process of building a unique analytical structure piece by piece. Generative AI disrupts this. When an expert queries the chatbot, it instantly returns a voluminous, plausible wall of text. Processing this text introduces a spike in extraneous load. Extraneous load is the mental effort spent processing information that is redundant or difficult to integrate into your existing plans. The AI forces the expert to cross-reference the machine's logic against their own. Handling this information overload occupies nearly their entire working memory. This spike in extraneous load cannibalizes germane load, the mental energy required for deep critical thinking. Under time pressure, the expert cannot manage this overhead. Their established analytical process breaks down, and they eventually default to the same duplication strategy as the novice. Instead of complementing the expert, the AI replaces their specialized critical thinking with generic, machine-generated output. The equalization effect masks actual human capability. When the novice appears more competent than they are, and the expert score is depressed by information overload, both receive an identical grade. The assessment fails to differentiate between their true skills. If students and employees consistently outsource thinking to these tools, they may never develop the mental models required to catch AI errors in the future. This creates a pervasive illusion of competence. Traditional assessments are no longer measuring human talent. They are measuring the AI's baseline. To protect the integrity of human learning, institutions must adopt a staged approach to assessment. Phase 1 requires AI-free exams to verify foundational knowledge, ensuring students build robust mental schemas. Phase 2 introduces AI-integrated exams to test metacognitive orchestration. These measure how well a user can guide, critique, and revise an AI's output, rather than simply accepting it. Generative AI represents a high-volume information environment that places a continuous premium on human attention. Success in this era requires developing specific skills to manage and supervise a constant stream of automated suggestions. Modern management education must focus on building experts capable of supervising the algorithm. Reclaiming the human role as active supervisor ensures that AI remains a scaffold for our potential rather than its ceiling.